Welcome to fields where iron outlived innovation. These hay balers weren't built to impress. They were built to endure. While newer machines failed, these kept working, season after season. This isn't farming, it's survival. Number 10. The John Deere 14T baler. Let's kick things off with a classic that many consider the grandfather of reliable small square balers, the John Deere 14T baler. Produced from the late 1950s through the 1970s, the 14T baler earned its reputation through sheer simplicity and durability. This baler introduced thousands of farmers to mechanized haying, and here's the kicker: many of those original machines are still working today. What makes the 14T baler special? Well, for starters, it's about as mechanically straightforward as you can get. The knotter system, while requiring regular maintenance, is incredibly robust when properly adjusted. Parts are still readily available through aftermarket suppliers, and any mechanic worth their salt can work on one blindfolded. I've talked to farmers who run 14T barrel TS alongside their modern barrel, and you know what they tell me? The old Deere just keeps going. No computers to fry, no sensors to fail, no proprietary software requiring a dealership visit. Just good old mechanical engineering doing what it was designed to do. The 14T baler might not have the capacity of modern balers, but it's perfect for small to mid-size operations, and its fuel efficiency compared to newer models is nothing to sneeze at. When you factor in the lower initial investment for a used machine and minimal ongoing costs, it's easy to see why these green machines are still dotting hayfields across America. Number 9. The new Holland Hayliner 68. Moving right along, we come to another icon of the hay industry, the New Holland Hayliner 68. New Holland practically wrote the book on square balers, and the Hayliner 68, produced during the 1960s and 70s, represents the company at its innovative best. This baler featured improved pickup design, a stronger feeding system, and knotters that were remarkably forgiving of less-than-perfect twine. What really sets the 68 apart is its feeding consistency. The double-tined pickup and aggressive feeding mechanism could handle heavy windrows and tough conditions that would choke some modern balers. Farmers working with second and third cutting alfalfa, dense heavy stuff, absolutely loved these machines. The genius of the Hayliner 68 lies in its balance. It's sophisticated enough to produce consistent, well-formed bales, but simple enough that you don't need an engineering degree to maintain it. The plunger design is particularly noteworthy, built like a tank, and driven by a flywheel system that stores energy efficiently. I recently spoke with a fourth-generation farmer in Wisconsin who runs two Hayliner 68s that belong to his grandfather. He's put thousands upon thousands of bales through these machines, and aside from regular maintenance and the occasional replacement part, they're as reliable as sunrise. Meanwhile, his neighbor is on his third modern baler in 15 years. That says something, doesn't it? Number 8. The International Harvester 46 baler. Now, let's talk about Big Red. Specifically, the International Harvester 46 baler. IH had a well-deserved reputation for building agricultural equipment that could withstand biblical levels of abuse, and the 46 baler lives up to that legacy. Produced from the mid-1950s through the 1960s, this machine was engineered with a level of overbuilding that modern accountants would have a heart attack over. The frame on the IH-46 is constructed from heavy-gauge steel that makes contemporary equipment look almost delicate by comparison. The plunger, connecting rods, and flywheel assembly are all massively over-engineered, which means they handle stress and shock loads without batting an eye. One of the most interesting aspects of the 46 is its knotter system, which IH sourced from specialized manufacturers who really understood the technology. These knotters, when properly maintained, are incredibly reliable and can handle a variety of twine types without constant adjustment. The 46 also features excellent ground clearance and a robust pickup design that works well in uneven terrain, important for farmers dealing with anything less than perfectly flat fields. I've seen these balers working in rocky pastures that would tear apart lighter equipment. Parts availability is excellent, thanks to a dedicated community of IH enthusiasts and several companies specializing in vintage IH equipment. There's even an active online community where owners share tips, troubleshooting advice, and restoration techniques. When you see an IH-46 still working after 60-plus years, it's a testament to an era when manufacturers built equipment to last generations, not just until the warranty expired. Number 7. The John Deere 24T baler. Speaking of over-engineered excellence, let's discuss the John Deere 240T. If the 14T was Deere's introduction to the baler market, the 24T was the company flexing its engineering muscles. Produced during the 1960s and early 70s, the 24T represented a significant step forward in capacity and durability while maintaining the simplicity that made the 14T so beloved. The 2040 can handle significantly larger windrows than its little brother, making it ideal for commercial hay operations. The feeding system is aggressive and reliable, and the bale chamber produces tight, well-formed bales that stack and store beautifully. What really impresses me about the 24T is the quality of the mechanical components. The main drive shaft, for instance, is absolutely massive, clearly designed with a huge safety margin. The plunger assembly operates smoothly and efficiently, and the timing gears are cut with precision that you just don't see in modern cost-optimized designs. I know several large-scale hay producers who keep a 24T as a backup machine. And more often than not, when the modern baler goes down for repairs or computer issues, that old 24T ends up finishing the season. There's something to be said for a machine that starts reliably, runs all day, and doesn't require a laptop to diagnose problems. The aftermarket support for the 24T is outstanding, with multiple suppliers offering everything from wear parts to complete rebuild kits. There are even YouTube channels dedicated entirely to maintaining and operating these machines, which speaks to the dedicated following they've developed. Number 5. The Massey Ferguson 10 baler. Now we come to a machine that often flies under the radar in vintage baler discussions, but absolutely deserves recognition: the Massey Ferguson 10 baler. Massey Ferguson, known primarily for their tractors, actually produced some exceptional hay equipment, and the Model 10 baler is a prime example. Built during the 1960s, this baler incorporated design elements from earlier MF models, while introducing improvements based on real-world farmer feedback. The MF10 features a unique pickup design that's particularly effective in short or thin windrows conditions that can challenge other balers. The tine spacing and pickup geometry were clearly designed by people who actually spent time in hayfields, not just in engineering offices. The knotter system on the MF10 is beautifully simple and remarkably reliable. It uses high-quality components that, when maintained properly, deliver years of trouble-free service. The timing and adjustment procedures are straightforward, making it an excellent choice for operators who prefer to do their own maintenance. What really endears the MF10 to its owners is its forgiveness. This baler handles less than ideal conditions: damp hay, uneven windrows, variable ground speed, without constant jamming or breakdowns. It's the kind of machine that lets farmers focus on getting hay in before the weather changes rather than babysitting finicky equipment. Parts availability is good, particularly through Massey Ferguson dealer networks and specialized vintage equipment suppliers. There's also a strong community of MF enthusiasts who've documented common issues and solutions, making troubleshooting relatively straightforward. Number 4. The John Deere 336 baler. Moving into slightly more modern territory, but still firmly in the built-to-last category, we have the John Deere 336 baler. Produced during the late 1970s and into the 1980s, the 336 represents Deere's continued commitment to building square balers that prioritize reliability and longevity. This machine incorporates some modern conveniences while maintaining the robust, serviceable design that made earlier Deere balers legendary. The 336 features an improved pickup system with better crop flow, reducing the likelihood of plugging even in heavy conditions. The bale chamber and density system produce exceptionally consistent bales, which is crucial for commercial operations where bale quality directly impacts marketability. One of the standout features of the 336 is its lubrication system. Deere engineers clearly spent time thinking about maintenance accessibility, with grease points logically placed and oil reservoirs easy to check and fill. This attention to serviceable design means operators actually perform regular maintenance, which dramatically extends machine life. The knotter system on the 336 is a refined version of earlier Deere designs, incorporating improvements that make it more tolerant of different twine types and qualities. This might not sound exciting, but anyone who's dealt with knotter problems in the middle of haying season understands how valuable this reliability is. I've met farmers running 336 with original plungers, original pickups, and original knotters, machines that have literally produced millions of bales with nothing more than regular maintenance and occasional replacement of wear items. That's extraordinary longevity by any measure. Number 3. The New Holland 273 baler. As we approach our top tier, we need to discuss what many consider the gold standard of small square balers, the New Holland 273. Produced during the 1980s and into the early 1990s, the 273 represents New Holland's most refined conventional square baler design. This machine takes everything the company learned from decades of baler production and incorporates it into a package that's incredibly reliable, productive, and long-lasting. The 273 features a sophisticated but serviceable pickup system that handles varying crop conditions exceptionally well. The feeding mechanism is aggressive yet gentle, minimizing leaf loss in alfalfa while still moving material efficiently through the bale chamber. What truly sets the 273 apart is its nodder system, widely regarded as one of the most reliable ever designed. These nodders run season after season with minimal adjustment, handling everything from traditional baling twine to modern synthetic alternatives. The timing and spacing are precisely engineered, resulting in consistently tied bales with very few misses. The build quality of the 273 is immediately apparent when you examine one closely. The steel is thick, the welds are substantial, and the component selection clearly prioritized durability over cost savings. These balers were built during a period when New Holland was still Dutch-owned and European manufacturing standards emphasized longevity. Many commercial hay operations still run 273s as their primary balers, and with good reason. They're productive, reliable, and when something does eventually wear out, parts are readily available and replacement is straightforward. There are 273s out there with well over 1 million bales through them, still producing quality hay day after day. Number 2. The Hesston 5540 round baler. Now, I know we've been focused on square balers, but we'd be remiss not to mention one of the most legendary round balers ever built, the Hesston 5540. Produced during the 1980s, the 5540 was Hesston's entry into the round baler market, and they absolutely nailed it. This baler introduced countless farmers to round baling, and many of those original machines are still working today, often outlasting the modern balers that were supposed to replace them. The 5540 features a fixed chamber design that produces consistent 5x4 bales, perfect for both livestock feeding and hay sales. The belt system is robust and properly tensioned, creating bales that are dense, uniform, and weather-resistant when properly formed. What makes the 5540 particularly beloved is its simplicity. There are no computers, no hydraulic nightmares, no overcomplicated monitoring systems, just solid mechanical engineering, doing what it's supposed to do. The pickup is straightforward and effective. The chamber forms bales reliably, and the wrapping system handles standard net wrap or twine without fuss. I've talked to cattle ranchers who run Hesston 5540s that are closing in on 40 years old. They've replaced belts, chains, and bearings as needed, but the fundamental structure and mechanical systems just keep working. Meanwhile, they've watched neighbors cycle through multiple modern balers, each with increasingly complicated electronics and increasingly expensive repairs. The 5540 proves that sometimes the best engineering solution is the simplest one that actually works. Number 1. The International Harvester 37 baler. And now we reach number 1. The legendary International Harvester 37 baler. If there's one baler that truly epitomizes the built-to-outlast civilization ethos, it's the IH-37. Produced from the late 1940s through the 1950s, this machine represents agricultural engineering from an era when equipment was expected to last generations, not just seasons. The IH-37 is absurdly overbuilt by modern standards. The frame could probably support a building. The plunger is a massive chunk of steel. The drivetrain components look like they belong on industrial equipment. And you know what? That's exactly why these balers are still working 70+ years after they were built. The simplicity of the 37 is part of its genius. There's nothing on this machine that can't be understood, maintained, and repaired with basic mechanical knowledge and standard tools. The nodder system is straightforward and robust. The pickup design, while not as sophisticated as later models, is incredibly durable and effective. What really amazes me about the IH-37 is how many are still in regular commercial use. These aren't just hobby farmers playing with antiques. These are working operations relying on machines that are older than the people operating them. That's a testament to engineering quality that modern manufacturers should study. Parts availability is surprisingly good thanks to dedicated IH enthusiast communities and several companies that specialize in vintage equipment. There are even fabricators who can reproduce parts that are no longer commercially available, meaning an IH-37 can essentially run forever with proper care. The IH-37 represents an approach to manufacturing that valued longevity, repairability, and honest value. It's the #1 baler on this list, not because it's the most productive or the most advanced, but because it embodies everything that made vintage farm equipment special and everything that many modern machines have lost. These balers didn't chase technology. They mastered time. They fed farms, outworked generations, and refused to quit. Modern machines are smarter. These were stronger. Real legends never stop working.